Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to be going over lesson 98-72. So lesson 98 begins on page 399. The document processing section as well as the formatting is on page 400. Make sure to read and review lesson 98 in your Word manual, which deals with line numbering. Also on the left margin, it does tell you to add line numbers to all lines in your document. When your document is typed, these numbers on the left are going to appear. Okay, also it says that it might vary, so it's going to be a little bit different numbers. I mean, where these lines are, so maybe the paragraph that he knows the ownership might be on line 12 instead of 13. So just keep that in mind. Okay, and so let's review the word processing lesson 98 really quickly. However, you should be doing this on your own. Okay, so it does tell us that on our page layout, page setup group, there is a line numbers button. And so we're going to automatically set that. And so we're not actually going to manually type in 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. We need to use a Microsoft Words feature that's automatically going to add those lines. And so let's go ahead and open up our start file. I'm going to enable editing. We're going to go up to our layout tab. And then in my page setup group, you should have this line numbers button. From here, what I'm going to do is to click on this line numbering options just so we can see what this box is going to look like. So from your page setup, you're going to go ahead and click on line numbers. You're also going to select add line numbering. Make sure that it does say start at 1. As for the numbering, and I can't remember offhand in the Word manual, lesson 98. Let's see what it says. So under numbering, restart at each page is selected by default. Thus, the line numbering on multi-page legal documents is continued automatically on all pages of the document. And so what we actually have to do for this one is to make sure that the numbering is set to continuous. And that way it's just going to keep on numbering after the first document, and it's not going to restart from 1. So add line numbering, start at 1. Numbering should be continuous. We'll then click OK and OK again. So notice that the first line number appears on the left margin. We can't actually click on it because it is in the margin area. So once we have that, we can go ahead and setting the tab stops here on our legal document. Notice that it's not telling you that 3.25 inch or the 6.5 inch right tab stop, and that's just because that is standard for all legal documents. So even though it doesn't explicitly tell you that in lesson 98, it did mention in lesson 96 that for all legal documents, you do need to create those tab stops. Okay, so once you've set your line numbering, we're going to go ahead and create your tab stops. The first one was a 1 inch left, none. The second is a 3.25 inch left, none. The last is a 6.5 inch right, none. And then you can click your OK button. So I've centered a line here, and I'm going to type in affidavit. Be very careful of your spelling. press enter twice, left align, and then we can go ahead and type in the rest of the document. After State of South Carolina, we're pressing enter twice, then typing in County of Charleston. Press enter twice. Remember that we had created those tab stops, so when you press tab, that'll bring you to the 1 inch mark. Make sure again, just as I mentioned in the previous videos this week, that you do see this tab indication on your show hide marks, indicating that you did hit your tab button and you did not adjust your indentations here. And so I've typed in the remainder of this. Remember that for this one here, we press your underscore all the way to the end. All of these, the short ones, are just 5 underscores. Also between James Cates and Attorney at Law, you just press tab once, which is going to right align that. Same thing for Denise Crocker. Okay, and so you'll notice that it does end on line 42. Because it's a single page, we do not need to create any or insert a page number in our footer. And this is just what it meant by the line numbers might be different. So notice that in the e-text it ends on line 47, but in your actual Word document it's actually going to end on line 42. And so just make sure you do proofread for any spelling errors. Turn on your paragraph marks to make sure that you did not press the space bar or enter unnecessarily. Without your paragraph marks on, this is what it should look like once you're done formatting. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, and let's upload it into GDP. And so hopefully you did proofread carefully. Also, we're very careful with your tab stops and your underscores, and you got 0 errors. If you had any errors, again, just like usual, make sure that you do correct them before moving on to your next assignment.